I glanced at the time as I reached the Barnes & Noble, located at 555 Fifth Avenue. My phone was showing 5:55. That coincidental juxtaposition of things lining up brought an extra bounce to my step. But so did the fact that we'd be meeting at the Starbucks inside a magnificent bookstore. Because even if this meeting turned out to be a bust, at least I'd be able to salvage some good from it by browsing through the stacks of books. Gail and I had chatted briefly on the phone after I'd called her. We had agreed to meet at this particular location because it was convenient for me, and she had already been planning on being in the neighborhood shortly before 6 p.m. I liked it when plans fell together in that way. But more than that, I was appreciative she'd been able to meet me today. I was already behind the 8 ball with this deadline, blocked for making my progress, and I hoped that hearing some insights from a person who understood the occult and even ran a shop specializing in magic and witchcraft could kickstart what I needed to act on. After moving through the main door and pausing to take in the powerful essence of the smell of all those books, merged with the odors of the Starbucks, a truly exquisite wonder, I turned right and walked toward the wide-open cafe area. I spotted her immediately. She was a gorgeous brunette in a black cotton shirt with a lacy frill pattern around the neck, underneath a shiny black leather jacket. Just above the neckline of the blouse, she wore a black leather collar with silver studs. Her legs were crossed under the small round table, and I could see she was wearing tight black leather pants. This look screamed occult to me, so I was sure it had to be her. And intriguing as she already was in appearance, there was an additional underlying essence I picked up from her almost immediately. It hung over her like an aura, one that perhaps someone with my enhanced sensory abilities could pick up on. She wasn't just sitting there in the cafe. She was subtly scoping it out, reading the room. She wasn't merely aware of all the people around her, she was actively participating in the room's flow, its very essence. There was a confidence and forceful feminine presence coming from the room. I knew it was her smell because of its mixture with the leather she was wearing. She was both predatory and protective in her subtle, yet powerfully mature presence over the room. Did I mention that she was stunning? One of the most beautiful women I'd ever seen in my life? The 2 or 3 seconds I'd had observing her felt like an hour of me standing there in awe, and I consciously checked myself to ensure my bottom jaw wasn't hanging open. Her eyes landed on me. By the way I could hear her heart subtly change its beat, she knew exactly who I was before her lips turned up in a slight grin. But the look on her face and the scent coming off her were filled with the confident recognition that comes with the acknowledgement that we both knew who the other person was. Of course, when she turned her smile at me, there was a sparkle that I can only describe as magic, coming from those green eyes that made my own heart skip a beat. I felt as if a spell had been cast on me, and another eternity took place as I looked at her, even though I knew it had only been a fraction of a second. To have someone like her smile like that while looking me straight in the eye was a wonder I had never known was possible. When that eternal split second was over, I glanced down, almost certain I would spot the chin of my open mouth resting on the tops of my shoes. I was thankful there was a purposeful intent to this meeting, otherwise I would never have had the courage to speak with such a stunning beauty. "You're here for information about the occult," I reminded myself. "This isn't a date." And with that reminder, I mustered up the courage to place one foot in front of the other to maneuver myself over to the table where she sat, introduce myself, and get on with the business at hand.